Hello, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Gherman, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm very good, Gabriela. Long day for me with the morning tasks plus the highlights, but yeah, feeling good. Finished my report right before the call, feeling updated
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
So, what about yourself?
yeah, doing good. I think everyone's starting to come back from summer holidays, so things are definitely starting to pick up, and we've got lots to cover today in the market as well. So let's go through real quickly the agenda. We're going to speak on rallying palm oil prices, continued logistics and geopolitics disruptions, energy prices within the veg oils context, weather worries, and then a few other topics here at the end. But let's kick things off with the rallying palm oil prices. So I would love to hear what the context is behind it, and what could the forward price movement be.
Of course. Let me share my screen. I'm going to go to the future section. So, in terms of palm oil movements on the Bursa Malaysia, we've got spot prices going forward maybe a little bit down if we compare week over week periods, whereas forward prices, if especially January or March, if we choose March, they just yeah, as you said, rallying, and I would say, yeah, rising energy prices, El Nino worries, and lower palm oil production forecasts for the second half of 2026 and the full year of 2027 are supporting for prices, not without the speculation from the fund side, of course.
Mhm.
While on the spot, high Malaysian stocks and recovered Indian stocks are limiting the spot price growth. So I would say India managed to recover vegetable oil stocks well in July on strong imports. And we talk about India because it's the largest vegetable oil importer. So it impacts all the markets, not just India. And local market experts say that Indian imports in August will also be strong for palm oil and soybean oil because of the Black Sea supply issues, festive demand preparation, and concerns over the local oilseed production. Because this year India is having less rain during the monsoon season, which might not work well for the soybean harvest, for example. So more oil seeds or oils will need to be imported. Whereas another strong importer, which is China, their palm oil stocks are quite strong at the moment, but their rapeseed oils and flour oil stocks are not great. I would say they're quite small compared to the historical data. And that gap could be partially offset by higher imports of palm and soybean oil. So we expect August exports to be same or stronger than in July. Prices to be sideways to up on in the short term, but this is about spot specifically.
Mm. So do you see this rally continuing, or you think there will be a reverse?
The rally, you mean for the forward contracts,
Yes,
obviously,
sorry,
right?
on the forward prices.
Yes, of course. So, yeah, I would say indeed that all those factors that we mentioned, so the festive demand, Black Sea issues, El Nino news, which especially impact 2027 futures, yeah,
Mhm.
they're all very strong bullish factors for the long run. But in the short term, I think it's just, I would say, it's not a science, but I would say when prices go that much up, normally there is a correction that comes at some
Mhm.
point in a way of profit taking, for instance, right? So I would say, yeah, in the near term, profit taking could take place. So we see these peaking prices going a little bit down, but I don't see them plummeting too much, right? Just because of the supporting factors that we mentioned. So that's kind of my view for my outlook, I would say.
Yeah. Makes sense. And looking into the end of the year for Q4, what is your expectation for palm oil prices?
Yeah, so for Q4, I would say there are. I've heard quite some opinions from some players, from analytical agencies, from brokerage houses that El Niño plus lower fertilizer usage this year, plus seizures of land in Indonesia this year, which led to lower investment, including into fertilizer usage, might and also high diesel prices, right? So could impact on smaller harvesting in Q4 of fresh fruit bunches used for palm oil production. So the Q4 production, which is typically low seasonally because of the rain, could be potentially be impacted additionally by these factors. So the Q4 production might end up worse than anticipated. That's one of the strong bullish factors. And another strong bullish factor is, of course, the P50 sales that start in October in Indonesia. And we're going to see how it will work with the Black Sea logistics. But all in all, we think that there are quite some bullish risks for the Q4.
Yeah, and obviously still keeping an eye on administrative disruptions within Indonesia. So I agree.
Exactly, because they're going to interfere into the price setting, right, in Indonesia. So I think they will start already with some procedures in September, and then will potentially, as the way I understood this, scale up in January with setting up not setting up, but let's say involving the exchange in Indonesia into this process. But people are concerned that price will be higher because of the government involvement into the price setting, and because of the charges that Indonesia might take for all these procedures for exporters, basically.
Yeah, a lot of potential risks there. Moving over to rapeseed complex, I've seen the Matif rapeseed's been rising pretty rapidly. What's going on there?
Sure, let me go back to the future section and choose November rapeseed price. As you rightly pointed out, the upward direction for rapeseed oil is not as sharply upward, but also more leaning towards the upward direction. And of course, one of the key things now is that Ukrainian logistics, and Ukraine is an important supplier of rapeseed for Europe. The inland logistics, and also they're trying to use Danube now, is of course not going to be able to compensate the port logistics. So the volumes could be twice as low for Ukrainian rapeseed exports in August. Let's have a look at the volumes last year. So this is Ukrainian rapeseed total exports. As you can see, in August, volumes normally peak, right? So it could be, as you can see, the lowest around 500K, mid 700K. So I heard opinions from local consultancies that it could be 300K-ish this year. So somewhere here, very low. So that's one thing that could be helping rapeseed prices. Talking, I would say, adding more color to the logistics, Danube ports also sustained damages because of the conflict and the river levels, as you know, and we discussed it previously, but I think the situation is getting worse rather than improving with the river levels in Europe. And it impacts the logistics in terms of the volumes, the costs. So transportation of the rapeseed is costlier in Europe now. And the third factor is there are concerns about the planting, right? Because you cannot plant into the dry soil. That's not great, excessively dry soil. So the planting window is normally the second part of August for both Ukraine and Europe, and the soil moisture is now very low. So if the weather will not be great in the next couple of weeks, then there will be issues with the planting. But based on the weather forecasts that I checked by Earth Daily Agro, our partner, the weather shouldn't be too bad, and there could be some rain in the next 2 days in Europe, depending on the region, which should help a little bit. But with the weather, it's always difficult. You never know. But there is this, let's say, medium risk for the planting at this point for Europe and Ukraine.
Yeah. I know we touched a little bit on Black Sea logistics. Obviously, sunflower oil is very impacted by this. Could you give us an update on how the sunflower market's looking?
Of course. So if I go to the sunflower oil section, here I chose August and September sunflower oil prices. And as you can see, they've been going down, which is a bit counterintuitive, at least for me, not very logical because of all the bullish factors for sunflower oil and overall bullish veg oil complex. My guess is that the market is trying to stay positive, focusing on the large expected sunflower crop globally, but especially in the Black Sea, and European crop will be good. End of the season quietness, because normally August is very quiet month for the sunflower oil trade. It's the end of the season. And also, but I would say probably the key one, especially for European prices, and now we'll look at the European price, that Ukraine, it mainly exports to Europe, right, because of the proximity. But before the ports attacks became more intense, Ukraine still had the choice whether to export to Turkey or to India, for instance, or to China or to North Africa. But now logistically it's mainly Europe as a destination, so which makes the origin a price taker here. And that's one factor. And also what I heard from our partners from APK informed that Ukraine might be able to export from 300K to 500K of sunflower oil using Danube ports plus inland logistics. So 300K, 500K per month, So let's maybe have a look how it compares to the normal exports. I think it should be close. Let me see. Yeah, so you can see it will be probably within the normal range even, I would say, right? So I would say maybe these factors impacting, let's say, this mood in sunflower oil markets, right? Because in Europe specifically, because the European buyers think the Ukraine is close, the oil still can be transported by inland or Danube, no issues there, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the angle from which I look at it.
Okay. And how do you see the situation evolving, though? I know, especially if you're looking at kind of Asian buyers and other markets that are impacted here.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good question, because obviously, you've got Europe as a big consumption market, but you also have India, you've got China, but India especially important. Turkey is the large one, not in Asia, but in the Black Sea, but still very big importer of seeds and oil. And longer term, if the problem is not resolved, so that's the opinion that I heard from multiple sources, the buyers in Asia, they will have to reconstruct their purchasing programs, right? So they will have to rely more on, so I think in Indian case, soybean oil, palm oil. In case of China, it could be also canola oil. So just relying less on sunflower oil. Especially it's important during the festive season. You've got Chinese New Year and other periods where you've got very high consumption of oils. As for Turkey, I think Turkey is a traditional importer and consumer of sunflower oil, so I don't think they will fully switch to not to other oils. I would say they will be trying to get something either from Europe, which happened this season. They were importing a lot of seeds from Romania, something from Argentina, and Argentina cannot supply too much to Europe because of the pesticide levels there. So I would say Turkey will probably try to find workarounds to get sunflower oil, but Asian buyers will have to reconstruct their programs. But I would say this issue of the logistics is very serious for sunflower oil supply, where I would say Asian buyers will be in the worst position probably than European buyers.
Yeah, it doesn't help, obviously, fuel prices there.
No, exactly.
Well, I think we're still hoping, obviously, for that we'll see a resolution sooner rather than later, but definitely some risk factors to keep an eye on. Moving over to soybean oil, what do you have to share on kind of where we're seeing the market moving there?
Of course, let me go to the chart, and I'll show you Chicago prices. So, crude Chicago, and we're gonna choose September. Yeah, as you can see, prices have rebounded from the beginning of August lows. That's because of the higher energy prices. And if we look specifically at Brent crude oil price, it closed yesterday, at almost 91, right? So as you can see, it's getting back to the end of July highs because it's all about the headlines for the Middle East and the Hormuz traffic. You probably already know all those factors, right, by heart, which impact the Brent, and the market is on the fence that it's not clear whether the peace solution will be found soon or not. But based on the most recent rhetorics, there is not much diplomacy going on at the moment, at least based on what we see in the news, right? So the prices are going up. Plus, what I heard, which is an interesting insight, that we've got, of course, a Brent crude oil price, which mainly relies on the crude market. But if we look at the diesel and other refined products, the situation is worse there, right? Because of the Black Sea supply issues, because of the depleted stocks. And these, as we pointed before, impacts the farming activity everywhere, I would say in Asia too. So the situation in the diesel market is even worse, right? But getting back to the soybean oil, so this is the increase in Brent price. Also, recent numbers from the NOPA, North American Crushing Organization, for the US specifically. The crush in the US is very active. It was active in July based on the reported numbers, whereas soy oil stocks keep decreasing, right? So which shows you very high demand for soybean oil, tight supply. So same trend as it's been for the previous few months. So it's been, again, supportive for the soybean oil price. And what was also interesting to see, of course, it's not very impactful for Chicago, but it impacts the LATAM prices because of the very good demand Argentinian stocks, which may be worth showing. I'm gonna go to supply and demand. I'm gonna choose soybean oil crude. I need to get, it should be soybean oil, not crude, Argentina. So the soybean oil stocks, as you can see, let me just switch this off. Not too high, not too low, but I think comparing to a few years average for that period, they're more on the lower side, which also gives a little bit of a support to the LATAM prices.
And for soybean, for the CBOT soybean price, that prices are also going up there as well, correct?
Yeah, of course. If we take the oil seed, I'm going to share my screen again. If we take the oil seed, soybean as an oil seed, this situation, obviously, there is similar to soybean oil. I'm going to choose September contract. So going up, and that's because of our reports on, the USDA reported a decline in the US crop conditions, which supported the prices. But more importantly, news keep coming about the good Chinese purchasing of US soybeans, and that's been also helping the CBOT soybean price.
Before we touch or move over to laurics, I did see we've got one question in the chat. So kind of going back to rapeseed oil, but let's see. Forward rapeseed oil pricing looks firm. Do you think it will continue upwards, or do you think a good Canadian canola crop could reverse it? I think we touched on this a little bit, maybe specifically how Canadian crop compares.
We were talking mainly about the, I would say, the other parts of the world rather than Canadian crop within the rapeseed context. But I understand the question. So basically, our view for the rapeseed oil outlook for Q3, we see it sideways to up, and we think that the average price across the quarter, Q3, could be above pre-July levels, as there are quite some bullish factors. I'm not saying that it will be skyrocketing, please don't get me wrong, but overall price level would be above June levels, for example. That's because you've got the Black Sea crisis, which impacts Ukrainian rapeseed supply. You've got worries about the weather and planting of the rapeseed. You've got also good biofuel demand expectations there, right? You've got bullish soybean, right? Of course, prices will be going up and down, don't get me wrong. So if news about the good weather in the US come, which as understood can be the case, then prices can go down a little. And also if the sunflower oil, the Black Sea situation gets resolved, of course, price will go down. But overall, Q3 levels, we think they will be a little bit above the end of Q2 levels, basically, for rapeseed oil.
Makes sense. Okay, great. Looking over at the lauric markets, let's talk a little about coconut oil. Have we seen the decline continue, or have we seen what looks to be a bottom?
Let me share my screen and go to my laurics dashboard. All right. Yes, so as you can see, a rebound happened recently in coconut oil price, CIF Rotterdam, but also the origin price in the Philippines as well, or even maybe come in as the first thing before the CIF Rotterdam. So I would say coconut oil prices seem to be drawing some support from the stronger vegetable oil complex and rising energy prices as well. However, on CIF Rotterdam, and I think at origin too, the CNO still trades at a discount to PKO or on par at best. And what I heard from market participants, I would say for this discussion would be interesting to show copra prices, which is your raw material for coconut oil production. So I would say what I heard, in relation to the bottom, I heard that it was found somewhere here in mid-June. Yeah, these levels. We, of course, quite close to it again, but a little bit above, I would say. So it's more here. You can see it's more a lot of 750 on average here. It's more sort of, the lowest one, 770, 780, right? But I heard that price will struggle to go below that because you've got the discount to palm kernel oil, which is not very usual. So normally coconut oil trades at a premium. You've got El Niño risk, which is mainly for 2027, but still worrisome for the market participants. You've got B5 mandate discussion in the Philippines, meaning that the Filipino government might increase biofuel blended mandate and more coconut oil will be consumed by the biofuel producers. So all these factors, according to the market, should be able to provide at least the floor to the prices and at best the recovery of the prices, right? I frequently say that according to the market participants in relation to the lauric complex, because it's a very opaque market, right? There is not too much data. So we look, of course, at exports, we look at the copra prices, we look at the spreads, but overall, it's a very, let's say, secret market, right? So we heavily rely on their opinion of market participants, but that's, I basically shared with you what I heard.
Okay, Makes sense. And how's palm kernel oil looking?
Yeah, let me get back to palm kernel. Yeah, same, rebounded because of the bullish direction of the crude palm oil price, and also I think the rebound in coconut oil price. But I would say if we look at, what's even better would be look at the FOB Malaysia price. Sorry for jumping. Okay, I think that should be better because CIF Rotterdam prices, they're good for the direction, but origin prices are a bit more reliable for the laurics. And as you can see, we are kind of at the psychological level here, right? So it might be because the market saw the bottom here. Sorry, I'm showing in euros, but imagine here are dollars. Market sort of found the bottom here, more or less, when the Brent was falling on the good Middle East news, yeah, and crude palm oil was going down, but it could be difficult for the market to go below that bottom. I would say there should be significant bearish factors. But also, I don't see too many bullish factors for this quarter for now. I would say it should be sideways to slightly up, right? Still could be upward because of the strong crude palm oil price. But at the same time, the stocks are good in Malaysia for crude palm kernel oil. The demand hasn't been too strong because palm kernel oil was more expensive than coconut oil, and also because palm kernel oil needs to develop the discount to coconut oil. That's why I think it should be sideways to a little bit up in Q3 for palm kernel oil price, rather than sharply up or down.
Okay. Makes sense. That brings us to right about time. Let me double check any more questions. I think we're good. Well, thank you again, Gherman. I appreciate these valuable insights, and we'll see everyone back here in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your day.
See everyone in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.